Hey everyone, Gamer Dad here. Today I wanted to talk about Star Citizen a little bit, the good stuff, which is we're looking at that right now, and we have some bad stuff going on, such as getting stuck in an elevator. That happened last night, and it's okay. It's still an alpha, I know it is, but we're just going to talk about that. Mostly today is Star Citizen. I also wanted to talk a little bit about New World. I've been playing New World, and I wanted to talk about the crappy thing that Plarium is doing with Raid Shadow Legends again, but that's just going to be a real short one. It's just going to be another nerf on another character that was basically a pay to get character, and they've basically nerfed him into the ground again. So, yeah, they're a pretty garbage company, and I just wanted to say that again in the intro, and we won't talk about it again. So, this is New World. I really enjoy walking underwater. That's a neat feature, and it's a real good game, though. I think it's great fun. It's very grindy, got a lot of content, and I just like walking underwater. But it's good, and Raid is garbage. They are playing garbage tactics right now. Do not like them at all. And let's talk about Star Citizen, huh? So, Star Citizen has come a long way in the last little bit, I believe. And I was playing it last night. They have a little Halloween event going on right now that if you visit it's actually a drug lab on a moon and just walk in and walk around, you'll get a Halloween mask for the game. And it is the most immersive space game I've ever been in. And it's a pretty awesome game. Full disclosure, it's in full alpha right now, very buggy. You'll see some of the bugs in this video later on, but I just want to give everybody a little update as to where this is at right now, because they're coming out with a new patch which is going to bring in life mechanics and things like that that I think are a little premature, given the fact that as I was playing, I was talking to a couple people on chat, and they were talking about how one guy actually had to go buy food for his character because he actually made it long enough that he was going to starve to death. And he said in the game he had never lived long enough that he had to eat or else he would starve. And I made a joke that I was like, good thing they're bringing in death mechanics. And everybody agreed that it was like, yes, I've never spent long enough in this game to actually need to drink water or eat food. Maybe drink water. I guess I've drank water, but I've never eaten food, but that's only if you're on a hot planet or something. So I've never had to eat food, and I very rarely even had to drink water, and I always died before I actually needed to do that. So those things in the light tells me that they might be pushing that a little bit soon. I hope that they would be very forgiving. Well, they will be forgiving anyways with it. You'll just be able to respawn and probably have all your stuff still as well. But even so, yes, it will be very interesting. And these are just some shots of me going to Port Olisar because I wanted to see the new Sky City. So the new Sky City that they put in the game in the last patch is quite good, and it got a lot of depth to it, and you can fly around all the platforms, you can land on them, you can walk around any platform you see out there, you can go land your ship on it, you can walk around, you can get off your ship and walk on it. I even did a little I was trying to do landings on hard landings in my Prowler, and I broke my Prowler, and I couldn't, it broke one of the engines off, so I was just spinning. And I just basically jumped out at the end.
Now, this is the perfect example of why you can't take this game too seriously at this point, and it is a very, very cool game. There's lots of people who play it all the time and enjoy themselves on a day-to-day basis, but as of right now, you can't really make progression because they're going to be doing wipes because it is an alpha. You still get your thumbs stuck in ice cream cones, and it's just a matter of, yeah, you just can't take things too serious yet. But when this game is active and ready to go, it's going to be a pretty serious game if some people get their way. Now, that's not my thoughts on it. I think a game like this should be for everybody. So yeah, if you want PvP and you want things like that, have places that you can go do those things, but also have safe havens for people, so it doesn't matter what you do or how you do it. There's no way that you can lose your stuff or die. It's just, in real life, people think about, oh, you gotta have it real life, you gotta make it real all the time, right? Well, real life in my country, Canada, you don't worry about getting shot in the back walking to the grocery store kind of thing. And that's what this game is like. If you're walking around and you give it free reign for everything everywhere, that's the thing. People think it's fun to just shoot other people in the back. So when you're walking down the hallway from your bed or to your ship or in a spaceport, I'm sure you'll just get shot if that's the case. And that's not a fun game to play in my mind, and I don't care what anyone says about that. It's just not. So you gotta have safe places for people who don't want that PvP aspect or that griefing or like the aspect of losing stuff all the time. Like, it just doesn't make sense to me that somebody would want to be in that type of a stressful situation at all times. It's like they don't have those in real life, so they have to have it all the time in a game. Doesn't make sense. But anyways, I believe, and it are my thoughts, that at CitizenCon, which is coming up this weekend actually, is they're going to be showing off a lot of stuff, and they're going to be showing off a lot of the stuff that they've been working on, they say. So that should be good. A lot of the other ones have been stuff that they want to do or stuff that they plan on doing, and now the game is starting to focus on what they can do right now. They've already put in a little mission planner that says we're not going to put activities like pushing carts or medical gameplay or stuff like that unless we have actual gameplay, unless we have something that you can put somebody on a cart and push them along and do some medical on them and stuff. Like, there's no point in putting a cart into the game to push a cart if you have no reason to push the cart. If you can't load the cart with anything, if you can't do anything other than push it, what's the point of having it? And they realized that, and they said as much, and they went and are now going back on that and saying, yes, when we implement features, we want to implement gameplay as well. And that will take longer and that will take more time, but we're hoping that we will have fleshed out products and gameplay when we actually have it, when we put it into the game, and not just something that sits there with no actual use. So that's a good way to look at things, and that's a good way to move ahead. And I think that they've made a lot of changes along the way, and I think they'll keep doing that. And I would hope that they would, because it seems that lots of these places and lots of these game companies do not listen to the people that are playing their games. And that's a problem, because I don't know what they intend on doing other than making people want to play their game. So why wouldn't they listen to the people playing their game to say, hey, this is what would make me want to play this game more, why don't you do that? And it would make sense that they would be, yes, we should do that because that will make you play the game more. But it seems more often than not that developers come back at us gamers and they tell us what we want, and they say, no, 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 you don't know what you want. You don't want that. You want this. You just don't know it. And so we're going to give it to you, and we're going to shove it down your throat. And if you don't like it now, you will later. I guarantee it. You just don't know you want it. And it's garbage. It's absolute. It's just not right. It's selling things that do not live up to expectations, saying things that don't live up to expectations, and then coming out and telling us what we want because we don't know what we want. I mean, I don't know how full of yourself you have to be to look at 1 million people, or 100,000, or 10,000 even, or 1,000 even, looking at you, telling you this is what I want, and you look right back at them and say, no, no, you guys don't know what you want. I know what you want, and I'm gonna do this, and this is what you want. It's the logic in it just does not make sense to me. So I hope that things get better in some of the other games I play. Plarium, I'm looking at you for your bait and switch for the last 2 times here. That's been garbage. Star Citizen, you're doing great. You're making great progress. And New World is a great launch for what it was, and I think it's a pretty good game considering. So thanks for watching. Have a great one. This was the end of my expedition to the drug lab. Things don't always go so well.